Everyone has heard of him and is aware of who he is. However, not everyone is aware of the most insane stories about him. Stories so strange that it's difficult to believe that they're true. Hello and welcome back to Prime MMA. I'm back today with a new video about McGregor's insane career. Let's take a closer look. But first, if you're new and looking for more content like this, hit the subscribe button and that icon down below to be kept up to date on all the new videos. Let's get started with the video. Of course, when you're as well known as the Irishman, a lot of your stories are told all over the world, and every step you take and every move you make is documented in every newspaper and also on every website. Nonetheless, there are some hidden gems of stories that people aren't aware of, or were aware of but completely forgot about. So we figured what better way to remind everyone of some crazy Conor McGregor stories than to compile a list of them all for one video. We understand, and also, you're welcome. Some are obvious, and you probably already know, because, as previously stated, he is Conor McGregor. A lot of what he does is immediately reported and on display for the entire world to see. Having said that, there are some gems that you may not be aware of, but I promise you they're 100% true. McGregor won his first professional MMA fight as a lightweight on March 9, 2008, with a second-round TKO over Gary Morris. After defeating Mo Taylor in his second fight, McGregor made his featherweight debut, losing via knee bar to submission specialist Artemij Sitenkov. After defeating Stephen Bailey as featherweight in his next fight, McGregor considered a different career path until his mother contacted his coach, John Kavanagh, and encouraged him to continue pursuing mixed martial arts. McGregor then defeated Conor Dillon at featherweight, before moving back to lightweight for a fight against Joseph Duffy, in which he suffered his second professional loss after submitting to an arm triangle choke. Following this, McGregor went on an 8-fight winning streak in 2011 and 2012, during which he won both the CWFC featherweight and lightweight championships, making him the first European professional mixed martial artist to hold both titles in both divisions at the same time. When UFC President Dana White traveled to Dublin, Ireland in February of 2013 to accept a gold medal of honorary patronage from Trinity College, he was inundated with requests to sign McGregor to the UFC. Days later, after meeting with McGregor and then speaking with UFC CEO Lorenzo Fertitta, White offered him a contract. McGregor began a meteoric rise that culminated when he became the first fighter in UFC history to hold two belts at the same time. However, this was followed by a spectacle and a defeat, and also legal trouble outside of the octagon. A blistering UFC debut. On April 6, 2013, McGregor KOs Marcus Brimage in the first round in 67 seconds. McGregor, who's 12-2 as a professional MMA fighter, makes his UFC debut in the prelims of a Fuel TV card in Stockholm. His left hand's accuracy and power live up to the hype. McGregor later told reporters that Brimage was too emotionally involved in the pre-fight trash talking, which caused him to overthrow his shots. Outside of the octagon, McGregor says it's a game, and he feels like Stone Cold Steve Austin, but inside the octagon he is emotion-free. That philosophy will be important through McGregor's career as he becomes the sport's most outspoken trash talker. On August 17, 2013, McGregor tore his ACL in a unanimous decision victory over Max Holloway. McGregor fails to finish for the first time in 14 professional fights. Given Holloway's subsequent career, that's hardly a blemish for McGregor, who honestly wins every round and is awarded a 30-26 decision by one judge. McGregor ruptures the ACL in his left knee in the second round and won't be able to fight again for 11 months. The victory, moreover, is significant because it comes against an opponent who will go on to have a Hall of Fame career. On July 19, 2014, McGregor defeats Diego Brandao via TKO in the first round. In only his third UFC fight, McGregor headlines a Fight Night card. The event takes place in McGregor's hometown of Dublin, and the fervent fan base that travels from all over the world to support him arrives 4 hours before the main event to support a card full of Irish fighters who went 5-0. McGregor seems to be unaffected by the torn ACL he suffered 11 months ago against Holloway. On July 11, 2015, McGregor wins the interim featherweight title by TKO in the second round against Chad Mendes. After featherweight fighter champion Jose Aldo withdraws from his title defense against Conor McGregor due to rib injuries, Mendes is named as a late replacement with an interim belt on the line. It's by far the most difficult fight McGregor's had since joining the UFC, but he rises to the occasion. The 16,019-person crowd that was inside the sold-out MGM Grand Garden Arena sets a live gate record, and White predicts that the pay-per-view units will be among the highest in UFC history. Not only does the fight highlight McGregor's draw power, but the victory over an elite grappler like Mendes suggests that one area of McGregor's game that many thought was a weak link might not be so weak after all. Next up is a unification fight against Aldo, whose decision to withdraw due to an injury enrages McGregor. On March 5, 2016, McGregor taps out in the second round as Diaz wins by rear naked choke. McGregor had planned to move up to lightweight to challenge Dos Anjos and possibly become the first fighter to hold two belts at the same time, but Dos Anjos pulls out due to a broken foot. McGregor then decides to move up to welterweight to face Diaz, who will have less than a week to prepare. McGregor's left hook lands early in the first round, bloodying Diaz's face. However, McGregor is up against a larger man who can withstand the attack, and Diaz's power and ground game ultimately proved decisive. Diaz now has 9 submission victories in the UFC, which is one more than Royce Gracie. Dana White doesn't know what to believe after McGregor tweets that he's decided to retire on April 19th of 2016. McGregor fails to appear at a news conference later that week, and the UFC removes him from the UFC 200 card the following week, canceling his rematch with Nate Diaz. McGregor overcomes adversity after tiring in the middle of the fight to win one of the best fights in the decade. For a while, it appears the fight will end similarly to the first, with McGregor standing fast and slowing down, but McGregor's able to find another gear in the late rounds. McGregor becomes the first UFC fighter to hold 2 belts in 2 weight classes simultaneously as he destroys Eddie Alvarez on November 12th of 2016. Undefeated lightweight Khabib Nurmagomedov calls out McGregor on social media on November 23, 2016. McGregor is forced to relinquish his featherweight title on November 26th of 2016, just 2 weeks after gaining the lightweight title, and becomes the first fighter to hold belts in both weight classes at the same time. On June 17, 2017, Mayweather announced his August 26th fight against McGregor via social media. White claims that when he and McGregor happened to run into each other, 50 Cent brought up the idea of McGregor fighting Mayweather, but he was skeptical at first and later said it was impossible. However, the overwhelming positive response from the public creates a momentum that White is powerless to stop. Dana White announces on August 3, 2018, that Nurmagomedov will defend his lightweight title against McGregor on October 6th in Las Vegas. McGregor announces his retirement on social media once again. Fighters may be the guiltiest of all athletes of prematurely retiring, so McGregor's latest announcement was met with skepticism on June 27th in 2020. The tweet came as a surprise, as the only recent news about McGregor concerned when he would return and whether it would be on Fight Island. McGregor relented on his demand to fight in 2020 on October 14th in 2020, when he accepted the UFC's offer to face Dustin Poirier on January 23rd. But there's a catch. McGregor is hoping for a fight at AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys. According to the publication, McGregor made $180 million over a 12-month period, which brought him to an estimated $158 million. Since then, his global net worth has been estimated to be in excess of over $400 million. So, with that ridiculous statistic comes the end of the video. Let us know if you already knew these facts about Conor in the comment section down below. We'll see you soon and have a good day.